Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Light9 and today's video is again more of a podcast than a game review or a walkthrough, okay? I just wanted to say mine opinion on backlogs, and I'm specifically talking about backlogs at plural. I think that this is a problem for all of us on this planet, gamers and non-gamers. Because, a backlog, it is not something just related to video games, to that massive list of games that you maybe still have to play or to finish. But it is related to pretty much everything, okay? For example, I have multiple backlogs. I have my video games backlog, of course, which is huge. Hundreds of games between the physical edition and the digital games. Yeah, hundreds of games that I still have to finish, I still have to play in certain cases. But I also have a reading backlog, a TV series or movies list has a backlogs. For example, a couple of days ago or so, I've tried to count all the TV series and movies that I had still to watch or to finish on my Netflix list. And I have more than 170. Okay, so that's a good number. I didn't expect so much. And then I have also, for example, a studying backlog, because I really love to study many things, and I created lists also for this kind of things. So the moment you have a list of things that you want to do in a specific field, even if it's a list of, I don't know, places to go, that's already a backlog, okay? Of course, now I want to focus on a specific one, which is the video games backlog. But my experience is also related to my other backlogs, because I'm trying specifically this year to focus not in beating my backlogs. It should be silly to think that you can just change from one day to another and in just 1 year complete everything. That's stupid to think about. But I want to have a progression, and I started to study methods in order to go on with everything, in order to fit everything in my life. And fitting video games in your time during the day when you are an adult, it's not so easy, because you have responsibilities, you have things to do, you have work, you have maybe, as I have, an entire house to rule, you have a family, pets. No. And well, that's not so easy to fit also gaming time into the schedule. And in particular, if you are like me, maybe that's not just your only hobby. I personally really like to play video games, but I also like to play the piano, play the guitar, as I said, study. I I usually study something about nature and animals, but sometimes I just want to discover new things, like studying runes or calligraphy or typing, you know. So, uh, and I'm also kind of an artist because I do cosplay and I draw. So, where to start when you have so many things that you like to do in your life? And I forgot to mention that I really also like to read a lot. And how can you be able to fit everything in your life? Well, you know, the answer is in many cases that you can't. Okay? We are human, not superhumans. So sometimes you have to choose what you want to do because one day is made of 24 hours and you have also to sleep, to eat, probably to work, to do, if you are a student, your homeworks, maybe you have school, if you are an adult, you have a job, or if you stay at home, however, you have to tidy up and clean everything in your home. Uh, it is also good if you fit some sports activity, some fitness in your life because it's good for you. So, what can you do to do also everything else? Well, I'm trying currently different methods to do so, and in particular to work on my video games backlog. Okay, for example, I've created a chart for my week divided in different activities that I do in specific days. So I erase the fatigue of the decision for my brain because I know that I play guitar twice a week in specific days. The same for the piano, the same for doing arts, the same for studying, for having studying sessions. And in this way, I create more time during the day also for playing. And when I play, I have decided to have some rules. For example, a very simple one. When I really want to focus on a game, I usually try to play when nobody else is at home and if there's silence, possibly. And I have my phone away from me, out of reach, not on a table in front of me, not on the sofa, possibly in another room where I can hear ringing or something else, but I have to stand up and go to reach it. And in this way, I've found myself enjoying more uh, gaming when I really want to focus. If I just want to play something to spend a little bit of time, you know, that kind of games that you can play a quick game or do just one level at a time and it's not a big deal. In these cases, it's not so important to have your phone away, but if you want to focus really on a game, it is important because your cell phone is a time and braining sucker. Okay, so um, that's, for example, something that I do and I find it is useful. Then I'm trying also to play not exactly one game at a time because it's really hard, especially when maybe you have different kind of interest in gaming and maybe you want to play an RPG, but you also want to play, I don't know, some fighting game or sports game, and so on. Platform, for example. I really like platforms. And well, in this case, you can choose to play at the same time just 2 or 3 games. Free is the best. Uh, right now, I'm not really following this rule because right now I'm playing multiple games, especially on the PS4 and PS5, and just one game on the PS2, for example. And it is really hard to do this thing also because, for example, I have many consoles. I have from the PS1 to the PS5 and the Nintendo Lite, Nintendo DS, PSP. So it is not so easy to just play one game at a time, but it is possible. And in this way, you can focus on that specific game. I'm also trying to do the focused week, for example. Um, I've started with first week PS1, second week PS2, and I focused mainly on this console that I've chosen. I also play other consoles, but usually just 2 types. So if I just want to have a quick play with the PS5, I can. It's not a strict rule, but if I have to go on a longer session, I decide which game to play and play on one specific console for just one week. It is also a good thing. Not so easy, but useful. And I've found myself finishing more games in this way because I don't have to switch to between too many games and relearning all the buttons, all the dynamics. It's easier in this way, okay? And well, that's not easy to choose sometimes what to play because you know there's a big difference between these times and for example when I was younger. In fact, when I was younger, a child, I couldn't afford to buy all the games that I wanted. I just received, as many of you probably, uh, one game for my birthday and one for Christmas, and sometimes something during the year, but not so much. Maybe some of that demo discs with magazines during the early 2000s, because I'm from the 90s, so not so young anymore. You had to decide carefully what to buy and what to play. Now it's not like that. It is the main reason why you create yourself your backlogs. Because when you have your money and you can decide on your own, you start just to buy everything that you want if you can, or you spend on sales, for example, or maybe like me, you have some kind of things on digital stores like the PS Plus that gives you some every month free games, and that is the reason why you create your own backlog, and then you have too many games to choose from, so you get stuck deciding. It's the same with Netflix. You go on Netflix and then scroll for 20 minutes between TV series, movies, animation and so on, and maybe you are not even able to decide what to watch. The same is for games. So, for example, I'm trying these methods. I'm trying to focus on a series and play all the series from first chapter to the latest one. I've decided to replay all my Assassin's Creed games in order, and don't give up, don't play too many games between them, so I can appreciate all the story. But that's not for everyone. So another things, a couple of things that you can do is, one, create, for example, a file on Excel or other kind of programs on your computer or your cell phone, and create the list of games you want to play, you really want, because maybe you have never played those games, or maybe another file with the uncompleted games. Give them a number, and then use a random number generator, and the number that pop up, it's just the game you are playing. Sometimes you will say, oh, I really don't want to play this game right now. Well, you have to take that game out of the shelf, or put that games on your main page on the PlayStation or Xbox or PC, everything you are you are playing on, and take it on site, having in front of your eyes. Then choose another number, but this time you have to choose if you want to play that game or the previous one. Stop. Just try. Maybe then you will play for, I don't know, a couple of hours, 3 hours, 2 or 3 sessions, and you will understand that's not the game for you. And this is also a conquer, because in this way you are not giving up on a game. You just understand that's not the game for you. That's it. No shame. So, these are some methods that I'm trying myself to go on with my backlog, and I'm trying something similar also for the reading backlog, the TV series backlog, and so on. I don't know if everything will stuck for many times, but right now it is working. I've begun at the on 1st of January this year, and I'm trying to go on with this line. Maybe in a couple of months I will understand that some of these methods are not really for me, but how can I say? I will see in the future. Right now, what I want to do is just try and find my own way. Thank you for being here, uh, hearing me babbling about everything and nothing. And if you like videos like this, please hit the bell and maybe subscribe. Or however, if you want to talk a little bit about it, leave a comment. I will be more than glad to read your comments and reply to you, even if it's just to have some talk, or if you want to give me some tips or to share your opinion. Okay? Bye bye, guys.